There's only one way out, where the blacktop ends, 5 miles south. Cross the tracks and don't turn back. Let's go. In your tight black jeans, you've been misbehaving and living up to that reputation, girl. Hard to read, hard to please. Smoke signals in your eyes, whiskey drowns the butterflies, drinks on up on the tailgate, feel that shot like a 12 gauge, it started with the flicker, feel the heat of the liquor, when the stars come out, break away from the crowd, chasing smoke signals, smoke signals. I had a plan, but your hands tell me I don't need it. Got me heavy breathing, girl. So put on a show, show me what you know. Smoke signals in your eyes, whiskey drowns the butterflies, drinks on up on the tailgate, feel that shot like a 12 gauge. It started with the flicker, feel the heat of the liquor, when the stars come out, break away from the crowd, chasing smoke signals. We both know when you get this close, watch us like a whooping. Smoke signals in your eyes, whiskey trails of butterflies. You and me on the tailgate, feel that shot like a 12 gauge. Started with a flicker, feel the heat of the liquor, when the stars come out, break away from the crowd, chasing smoke signals. No telling where this wildfire goes, but girl, I gotta know. No telling where this wildfire goes.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the February 19th edition of the Hughes Sports Podcast. I am your host, of course, Jake Hughes, with the old man. Old man, how the hell are you doing today?
Well, you kind of freaked me out there when I thought I was the host there, but it clearly, oops, that's this side.
Other side, remember.
says Co-host.
It clearly says co-host right there, so.
Co-host. Not, did you see that? Isn't that cool? You too can get one of these if Jake put them in the store.
I haven't put them in the store yet, no.
But he will.
Eventually, we'll get there. Baby
Are they
steps.
nice?
They're really nice. I
really like
was able to see it this weekend. This
Yeah.
weekend? Last weekend.
No, this weekend.
This
Friday.
weekend has been this weekend has been a complete disaster for me. I think I've slept probably 13 hours total since Friday, and 10 of those hours happened today. So if I'm a little bit loopy for any reason, you know why.
I went searching for Jake. He hadn't responded in 2 days. It's so unlike him. We usually talk like at least 20 times a day. Literally 20 text messages every day. And I texted him last night with some cool stats. I might add, did you look at those stats?
I did. I have them set aside for the show today.
And he didn't respond. He didn't even read it, which kind of worried me. And then I messaged him again this morning, and he didn't read it. So I called him, and I texted him, and I Facebook messaged him.
And then you got my sister to reach out and text me, and
I was starting to panic.
I could tell.
I was like, what the hell's going on?
God forbid I needed time to catch up on sleep after working an overnight shift
You gotta
at a
tell
casino.
people these things.
You knew this!
I didn't know this.
You did know it, you just don't remember it. Two very different things.
That's true. That is
Yeah.
true.
That's probably a more fair way to state.
So,
So,
with your lack of sleep, me having to work today, we didn't get to watch the game today.
no, I did watch highlights.
Did you? I didn't even get to do that.
I was able to watch highlights, take in some Twitter conjecture, and it basically all points back to don't publicly call out the refs in Gary Bettman's NHL.
Well, one of my friends, you know Nancy Broadway.
Yes.
Uncle Berkey's sister.
Yes.
And she says it was all the refs' fault. And I said, bull turkey. 7 goals in one period. You can't blame that on the refs. That's just a collapse.
No, but what was the final score was 7-10, right? 17
Yeah.
goals. Yeah, 7-10. How many of those came on the power play?
Oh, I have no idea. Like I said,
We were shorthanded by 2 men 4 times in a game.
Seriously? 4 times?
Don't
2
tell
men?
me that there's not there. This isn't some sort of don't call the
Nothing.
refs out or we'll make you fucking pay memorandum.
4 times we were shorthanded.
4 times we were down by 2 men. They had a 2-man advantage 4 different times in the game.
Well, I guess they've learned their lesson now, haven't they?
Don't get me wrong. You can't put the full blame on the refs. You need to be able to not give the refs that opportunity.
Thank
But
you.
4 how do you go down 4 times?
Is that all in the third period?
I don't know if it was all in the third period.
Oh. I doubt that was all in the third period. Just saying.
I wouldn't
That
be
would be
surprised.
like half the period playing 2 men short.
7 goals in 1 period.
That's insane. Is that a record?
I don't think it's a record.
Because that sucks.
It was terrible. Like there's not even a way to sugarcoat that. That's just terrible.
Now, that's one of the ones I don't even think as a coach, I think you just burn those tapes.
I don't know. Like, do you burn them or do you
Yeah, you just burn those tapes and say, didn't happen, move on.
Like the first 2 periods, looking through the highlights, we looked like the better team.
Well, we were up. Like, I was trying to keep track, and we were really busy at work today, being that it was
That everyone else was off.
family day. And we going into the third, we were up 5-3. So I'm like, okay, it's not a big deal. We got this. If we go into the third and we're leading, chances are we're going to win that game this year.
I saw a stat here. I'm going to see if I can find it. I think
That's insane.
I think that's the first. I think that's the first time we've gone into the third period with a lead and have lost in regulation.
That would be, you know what? I wouldn't argue on that one because I think you might be correct.
Yeah.
It was one of those games that you knew we're going to have games like this. We're going to have shitty games.
Yeah.
We shit the bed against Boston. Truthfully, we shit the bed against Boston, and we shit the bed in the third period against the Wild.
So 1, 2, 3, 4 goals, 3 of them in the third period, 1 at the end of the second. We're all on the power play.
Say that again, one more time.
4 goals
in the third.
No, 3 in the third, 1 at the very end of the second.
Oh, okay.
We're all power play goals.
Fuck. Yeah. I'm glad I didn't watch because I probably would have given myself a heart attack.
Like, how do you go down 4 times by 2 men and it not be a talk about the refs?
Oh, you have to talk about it, right? But I guess my point is great teams overcome. We didn't overcome. And how do you overcome 4 times being shorthanded by 2 people? That's insanity. I mean, I don't know how long those power plays are. A lot of times it could be just 30 seconds and they call it a full 2-man advantage, right?
Yeah.
It's how long were they shorthanded for 2 people going down 2 men. I'm glad. I'm just going to say this game didn't happen. Move on.
Minnesota scored 6 goals in a 5-minute and 45-second span. The 4th fastest a team has scored that many goals in NHL history.
5.
And now it is DeSmith and net. It's not Demko. We do play tomorrow in Colorado, and that's going to be a very big test.
And we played early tomorrow, do we not?
I don't think early, like not today early. No, we play an hour early from when we normally play.
Oh, do we? Oh, okay.
Yeah, we don't play until 8 p.m. Pacific time.
Oh, okay. That's not horrible.
Oh no, sorry.
We play
7 p.m. Mountain
time.
7 p.m. Mountain time, 6 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the math conversion backwards there.
Jeff McCleary just showed up, he said. Was dusting himself off after falling off the bandwagon.
And I've seen a bunch of comments about that, but guys, we're still at 80 points in 57 games.
We're still in first place.
We're still in first place by 3 points.
But the Flames won. They're going to catch us, Jake. The Flames.
You know,
oh my God, the Oilers.
Well, the Oilers have put themselves in playoff contention at least.
Oh yeah, but they're not going to catch us.
They're only 13 points behind.
Yeah, only 13 points.
Oiler
fans, pay attention. I'm speaking to one in particular. You might know him. You jumped off the bandwagon. Raymond, go ahead.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Wow. This is what happens when Jake doesn't sleep.
Lost my train of thought completely.
Jeff McCleary says, I've been a Canuck fan since the 70s. I'm used to the bruises and the broken hearts and the tears.
And the salt. I was saying the salt in the wounds and
the abuse.
Yeah, I had a thought there I was going to go with, and it's completely left the rails.
Well,
let's talk about the stat that you shared with me yesterday.
Yes.
And the 7 big games the Canucks have played, the power play is 3 for 28 or 11%. Those 7 big games that we're talking about is New York, Toronto, Colorado, Vegas, Dallas, Boston, and Winnipeg.
Yeah. Does it include this game?
Doesn't include this game. Now, two of those games we had 6 power plays, which is an insane amount if you really think about it, and we scored on those.
Oh yeah, that shows the power plays. Yeah, 6. Yeah. No, only one game we had 6.
No, New York and Toronto right underneath each other.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep. Is it a problem?
Yes.
Why?
Because if you look at the beginning of the season, you look at when we went on our big run and really boosted our standings. Our power play was unstoppable. It was.
Oh, amazing. You mean coming out of Christmas break when we lost 2 games, and our power play has been the same?
No. Before that, I'm talking.
Yeah, no, but look at the stats in those 2 areas, like the wins and losses in those areas.
Yeah,
you're having like your power play. Your power play is obviously 3 for 28 is atrocious.
So that is a problem. You're agreeing with me.
But we're still winning.
Oh, I'm not saying we're not winning.
Okay.
But needs to improve. What that stat was showing you is if you get into what they actually said was you're not winning in the playoffs with a power play that anemic. You've got to capitalize on the power plays in the playoffs.
100%. You do have to capitalize, but I wish we calculated power plays differently. Because
I'm interested.
So the problem is you see we went 1 for 6. Instantly you think, okay, that's 12 minutes of power play time. Like 1 for 6 against the New York Rangers.
How much power play time did we actually have?
Was there an overlap and there was 3 of them that were 30 seconds long? We should be looking at.
It happens a lot.
It does happen a lot. So it's hard to be like, and that's where it's like, okay, cool. It's 11% if you look at just those numbers, but did we actually have 12 minutes of power play time, or did we have, don't get me wrong, was 6, again, I'm looking at the numbers with the 3s and the 4s, were half of those really only a minute instead of 2 minutes. That could be a huge difference.
Exactly. Were they 10 seconds? Because that happens. I see.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. So I get it. Now, how would you quantify a power play then?
Goals per minute.
Goals per minute.
Goals per power play minute. So say, again, I keep using the top one just because it's the first one my brain sees. Say we went 1 for 12 minutes. Like we got 1 goal in 12 minutes of 12 actual minutes. Okay, that looks really bad. Then we went 2 for 6 against Toronto, but it was actually it was
5
only
minutes.
7 minutes of power play time,
Yeah.
right? Well, that looks a lot better. The 0 for 3s, the 0 4s, maybe it was
Minute and a half.
2 minutes total of power play time,
Yep.
right?
No, I get
So
what you're saying there.
that's never. I don't think that's going to change in the way NHL calculates things because they're
No.
reluctant to change anything they do.
Do
But-
they actually put out somewhere power play minutes? Like on all your stat pages that you go on?
I think it shows you how many power play minutes, like penalties in minutes a team will get, but I don't know if they actually show the shorthand. Like they might have the time on the time on ice, the shorthanded time on ice per player, but I don't know if they can do that. They do have that for the whole team.
Because it would be easy to do, would it not?
Yes, I wouldn't say easy. I wouldn't say easy to do for me and you, but easy to define.
Yeah, I bet you if we look, I bet you it's out there somewhere.
It probably is. Maybe I'll do when my brain is not half foggy and confused.
Yeah, I bet you for next week you could look at that.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I will do that.
Yeah.
But
we can bitch or we can complain. They had a horrible game tonight. Their power plays 3 for 28, sitting at 11% in the big game. That's just the big game, right?
Yeah.
Let's say they're sitting at 15%. Still not great. At this point, we're just picking on things to bitch about because what did we go this week? 2-1?
2-2.
2-2?
2-2.
Was there 4 games this week?
Yes, because we played today. We played Saturday, Thursday, and Tuesday. So we played the Blackhawks, Red Wings. We beat both of them.
Today doesn't count in last week, does it?
I count it because it's before the show went live.
Yeah, but we count today as this week. That's my prediction.
The game's already happened. Yeah, your prediction is 25-8-3 for the rest of the season.
What are we now?
We're 6-3-2.
Well, I think we're still good.
I still think, if you look at it, we're on track.
We are.
But
I said 3-0 last week. How could we be 3-0 last week when there's 4 games?
Because we didn't count the Monday because I don't think either one of us realized it was a holiday Monday.
So Monday doesn't count. Monday's on this week, so I get a freebie this week. I'm gonna. I said 3-0 and we went 2-1. Pretty close, not really, but yeah.
It'd be different if we were like close in that Jets game. Because that Jets game, I don't know if you watched it on Saturday.
Unfortunately. You know what? You know why I say unfortunately? Let me go on a rant.
All right, and here we go.
Because I know Ellison doesn't watch this show, but I'm going to go on a rant. I got to take over the TV and watch the game on Saturday. By the way, I hate Saturday games now. Why do I hate Saturday games? The guy that calls play-by-play on Saturday is horrible.
Well, first off, it's not always
he shoots the puck.
I don't think it's just the guy who calls the game on Saturday.
Solves. If I hear him say Demko solves it one more time, I'm going to reach through the TV and slap that buddy.
Do you know who it was? Because I didn't listen to it with sound. I was at a casino.
Yeah, it's a typical guy. Does all our does the Punjabi play-by-play normally.
I know what his name is. Yeah. I can't think of his name.
He might be really good in his native language. And it's not like it's an English thing or anything like that. He doesn't have an accent whatsoever. He was probably born in Canada. He's probably born in Vancouver. But he's just freaking boring.
Well, the problem is,
dude, wake up.
The problem is
it's hockey.
The problem is that Sportsnet, Rogers, whoever's making the decision, the NHL, wants someone who's unbiased calling the games when it's 2 Canadian teams.
Well, and it's a Saturday game, so it's a national game.
Okay, cool.
So they can't have Shorthouse.
Sure they can. Yes, they can. They're paid by the same. They're paid by the same company.
It's always on the same station.
So what they should do, you have the fucking Sorry, you have the teams. You have the fucking teams already in place. Why can't I tune in to Sportsnet 1, Sportsnet 360 and get the national broadcast, or CBC? CBC get the national broadcast. Really, you think they're going to break the bank by adding one more game day to each of them? Everything's already in the goddamn building.
All they have to do is call. We'll do it. We could do better than that guy. I'm dead serious.
I know I can.
You could tell the color guy was literally like, oh my god, this guy is boring.
Was it Louis DeBrusque doing?
I'm not really sure. He was between the benches, but I'm not sure who it was. Tell you the truth.
Probably Louis DeBrusque, who I don't like anyways. So I probably.
But you could tell he was like, oh my god.
No, Louis DeBrusque also, that's how he always sounds. He's had a few too many concussions. I'm pretty sure he has CTE, and it feels like it's a handout job, because he's like, oh, that was a really good play there. You know, he had the puck and he shot it and it hit the net. Thanks, Louis.
And that wasn't even my rant. Okay, that's not my rant. My rant is I got to watch the game. I've watched almost every game this season because my girl is a sweetheart. You know what she made me do on Sunday, Jake?
What?
I had to watch The Notebook.
I did read about
The Notebook.
No, I haven't. I've thankfully avoided it.
Okay, well, it's the sappiest goddamn movie I've ever seen, and yes, it had tears in my eyes because I'm a sap. Okay,
of course you did.
Saturday games make me watch The Notebook.
So just so we're going back to the Canucks problems here. Power play percentage on the season, we're 23.2%,
which really isn't that bad.
We're 10th in the league,
which really isn't that bad. But I would like to look at it broken down by, like, if they could break it down by months and see what it's been since the Christmas break. Do they actually do that?
I could.
Folks, anybody's watching, can you see the eyes?
I could find it, I'm sure.
D, as Jake's looking. D, listen. There's good movies, then there's great movies. The Notebook isn't either one. It was an okay movie. It made the old man cry, but Bambi makes the old man cry.
I was going to say, so do sad commercials. Sad commercials make
the old man cry. Like, come on. What are you doing there, old young guy?
I'm looking for the stats you're asking for.
Oh, do they do that? I didn't think they did that.
No, but I'm pretty sure
they did that.
I can find it. I just would have to break it down anyway. Something I can definitely look into.
I guess the big question is, what's missing? We got audience members. We got some really intelligent audience members. I said that out loud, didn't I?
Yeah.
So, what's missing? Like, what is it?
Is it like everyone keeps talking about another top right-hand shot defenseman, like a Chris Tanev?
Yeah.
But we have, and I'm not putting Noah Juleson on the same level as Chris Tanev, but Noah Juleson has been playing lights out. Defensively.
Speaking of lights out, did you see Chaos Giraffe? He was like Wayne Gretzky out there.
Well, no, he got the puck up. He got the puck up off the ice. So I think he's a step ahead of Gretzky.
He was amazing.
Again, when that jump up in the jump up, take it to his backhand, pull it across, and just throw it in front. You can't tell me he aimed that. He just threw it at the net and hoped to trade.
His eyes were closed. He wasn't breathing that whole series. It was like, okay, I took that way. I shoot the puck that way.
Okay, he's not Zdeno Chara. He's not.
When you're that big, you talk funny, okay?
But But other than with Noah Juleson, lights out defensive hockey. That right shot defensive defenseman that you need. However, when he makes a mistake, it is a very, very notable mistake.
Yes.
And the one I'm pointing to is the first of the Jets' third period goals, where Juleson goes in for a hit rather than continuing to skate back because the game had gotten chippy. He went in for a big hit and made a big hit and looked beautiful, but made it a 2-on-1.
What did we say? Those 2 goals that they scored that put them ahead. This is the Winnipeg game, folks.
The Winnipeg game. So it's Saturday night game.
Yeah, we were chasing hits.
Yeah.
And I was just watching the game and I was like, what are you guys doing? Why are you like, what possessed you to think we're hitting, let's go out and be the Philadelphia Flyers Broad Street bullies and try to goon it up? Yeah, it was a chippy game, but you take your hit.
I think what happened was a second period where Winnipeg started to play that chippy game and then took us into a slog and then decided to stop playing that game. And as soon as that happened,
I can't do it because my neck will hurt too much. But if I saw one more Winnipeg player go, you can do it. Show them what.
I have no idea what. Sorry, no, I have no idea what you just did there.
Back every time someone came within 10 feet of him, looking like a fucking soccer player. Jesus Christ, I was kidding. I was screaming at the TV. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
But they were getting the call, so why wouldn't you do it?
Well, I'm sure their coach said, "Guys, keep this up. We're under their skin."
Well, that's the exact reason why Tyler Myers made the comments about the officiating, that they was like they were playing 2 teams out there.
Well, Tyler Myers should shut his big fat mouth because look what happened tonight. Today. I almost said tonight. But
Today. Honestly, I think if we are looking at anything to improve the team, I think we're looking at like I don't think we talked about it on the show. Oh, we might have talked about it on the show, but Phil Kessel is training and with the Abbotsford Canucks.
Yeah.
Getting a Phil Kessel who can, I'm not even going to say play all of the games down the stretch, but play 10 games, playoff experience.
What he brings in experience. Now we have Zadorov. He's played lots of hockey. We have how old is Lindholm? Why do I think he's played a bunch of playoff games?
I don't think he has.
No? Is it Zadorov that has played a lot of playoff games?
No.
It's one of the two that we got. I thought that I remember seeing it on Twitter, and I went, "Oh, that's cool."
In total, Lindholm has played 27 playoff games.
Oh, okay.
That's
some, but not a lot.
Zadorov has played 45.
So 45 is a good amount, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got a couple 3 years of playoff experience there. Now you add a Kessel who has like 1,000 playoff games. Like he's as old as Christ is. I think he's older than me.
I know he's about 20 years younger than you.
Okay. Damn. But you add that experience and that locker room presence.
Yeah.
I mean, I was talking to your older brother, Rick, your oldest uncle, my brother, Rick, and he was like, "I can't believe they brought that guy in. He's a piece of shit." Blah, blah, blah.
Well, to be fair, they haven't brought him in yet.
Shit when he was on another team. Guess what? That piece of shit will get under the skin of somebody else, not us.
And not just that, but I mean, we haven't brought him in yet. All he's doing is working out.
Exactly. I think
no commitment.
I think we'll sign him for like league min.
I honestly think it's so dependent on what happens until March 8th.
What's this? Somebody went down today. They went off with injury after blocking a shot.
I did not see anything, but I just saw the highlights and with 17 goals and highlights.
I want to say Bluger or Corona.
Hronik?
No. Who does one of our guests, who does he call Corona?
I don't know.
Come on. Garland.
Oh, no, he calls him Corolla, not Corona.
Corolla. That's it. Sorry, I had it wrong.
Corolla.
That's all right. Who was it that went out? Check. You got the stats in front of you.
I don't have those stats in front of me,
No?
but I'll try to find it.
Yes. Well, somebody went down on it with an injury, and when you brought up the fact that he's there if we need him. Yeah, we have that backup there.
There's nothing official yet from the injury report. I don't even have out at any point.
Oh, really? I saw it somewhere that somebody went out after. If somebody watched the game, make a comment on who it was that went out. There was somebody. I don't know who it was though.
The problem is if it's a defenseman, that's even more problems.
Yeah, right? Then what do we do?
Yeah.
Yeah. DJ Streams brings up a great point. I saw it just before I came upstairs. Who's the coach in Calgary? Anyways, he's sending Kuzmenko a message. He's put him on the fourth line.
Oh, shocking.
Shocking.
Ryan Huska.
Huh?
Ryan Huska.
Yeah, Huska is sending a message.
Oh, it's almost like he's really good when he goes to the net, and that's really his only attribute. Like he's a pure goal scorer.
Yeah, and it was Garland that went out after blocking a shot in the second, and he didn't come out for the third period. So something to keep an eye on. That might be big, we might say, coming in.
Well, he's been one of our most consistent forwards.
Yeah, exactly. Now we're midway through February.
Yep.
50. How many games we played now? 54? 56. Something like that.
Something like that. We have played 57.
57 now include. Yeah. So we have 25 more games left.
Sorry, Dan Murphy, Garland is now on the bench, so he did come out for the third.
Oh, he did come back. Okay, cool. 25 more games left. We built up such a huge lead in our division, which really the only thing that matters is the division in the way the playoff standings are done.
Yep.
Finish first in the league, big deal. We've done that before. We've seen what happens. Boston did it last year. We saw what happened. Is this a case of taking a deep breath?
I don't think so.
I don't either. I'm throwing it out there.
I think again, there's regressions that are going to happen in hockey. It's the reason it's one of it's the hardest sports to bet and predict because the margins of great teams to poor teams are actually so small in comparison to other sports. Yes. It's not like baseball where you can be like, okay, the New York Yankees their salary spend is 12 times that of the Oakland A's. I wonder who's going to have a better team.
Exactly. When you have that salary cap, and you have to remember, no matter how many times we say somebody's a crappy player, they're still the top 1% of 1%. Oh,
again, we rag on Tyler Myers for his play. Put him on any ODR that's anywhere you are, and you'll be like, holy shit, why doesn't this guy do this at the NHL level? He's trying.
It's the top 1% of 1%.
Yeah.
So
and I can't see a team exhaling. Not this far out. No,
I don't think they're exhaling on purpose. I don't think it's a case of coach coming into the dressing room and saying, "Okay, guys, we have this next 10 games. Let's float through these next 10 games." No, let's not try that hard. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that subconscious part of our brain that if we're running a race, let's just say you and I are running a race, and I'm ahead of you by 15 miles and it's a 16-mile race. I'm probably going to slow down for that last mile. Not intentionally, but subconsciously when I see Jake's back 15 minutes, I know I can let off the gas just a little bit.
Yeah.
Speaking of letting off the gas, we're getting into NASCAR season. It's the same thing. You have that big of a lead, you let off the gas just a little bit to save the engine,
Yeah, save the
right?
engine, save the tires, save the
Yeah.
gas.
So is this a case of the dog days of February? We're getting through it. We have a good lead.
It's a nice change of pace from our normal dog days of February the last 10 years, where it's been like, oh, February's coming. I guess we should be talking about Connor Bedard and Macklin
Can we
Celebrini and
can we talk about let's just talk about the BC Lions and what they've done in the off
hey,
season
hey
because I don't want to talk about that team.
if it was
That
if it
team
was
sucks most years.
if it was last year, I would have been like, all right, we've talked enough about the Canucks. Let's talk about NASCAR. Let's talk about something.
Yeah, we would have we would have had a wrestling segment for 25 minutes every week.
Yeah, because it was that like, but now we're and it's so funny because the swing has swung the swing has swung the other side. The pendulum has swung to the other side.
That's what
Where
she said.
that the pendulum swung to the other side, and
I broke Jake again.
and we've gone from being like, oh, let's bring up these young players to we need to make trades. Like, oh no, we've lost 2 games in a row. What's going to happen?
I
Have
know,
we?
right?
We might lose 3 games in a row. It's going to be a hard test against the Avs tomorrow night. Don't get me wrong; it is going to be a hard test. But oh no, it'll be the second time we've lost 3 games in a row all season. That's huge.
Damn. If we would have said every week we'd be 2-1.
Yeah, I'd be very happy with that.
1 loss every single week.
Yep.
We'd be pretty happy 6 months ago.
Yep.
You know what? If this is the worst we're playing, high five.
Yeah. We scored 7. Let's not forget, we scored 7 goals in this game. We just allowed 10.
We scored 7. We allowed 7 in the third.
Jesus. That's insane. How do you allow 7 goals in one period?
That's like, remember we say it quite often when we're behind. Like, we got 5 minutes left. We can't score 2 goals. This one's over. Yeah, except Minnesota. If you, Jake. No, you can do it. And then there's 2 minutes left. I don't think it's going to happen, Jake. Oh yeah, it's going to. Jake, there's 30 seconds left. I don't think it's going to happen.
Who gave up when I think it was Salo or Morrison had the puck behind the net?
Remember that?
Holy shit, that was a long time ago. With 13 to 15 seconds to go in the period.
25
whatever
seconds.
It was. We scored with 3.4 seconds left in the goddamn third period to push it into overtime. I remember that.
That was 1 goal.
And then and then we lost in overtime that game, and someone threw their goddamn hat across the room, didn't get talked to for like 3 weeks.
God, it was the best 3 weeks of my life.
How dare you?
Oh my goodness. But it all, like you said, we're nitpicking here.
Yeah.
We're looking for things to complain about because we're Canuck fans, and that's what we do.
But it's like it feels valid to complain about. Be like, hey, look at our power play against big games.
Well,
and I keep putting in quotations. Put it in quotation marks because it's like we're deciding which games are to count in those big games.
Well, yeah, exactly. Make the playoffs. It's a new season. We've made the playoffs. I don't think there's any chance in hell we're not making the playoffs. I don't know what. I think it's 99.999999% chance we're going to make the playoffs now.
Let me. I have a predictions pulled up here. It is now impossible for us to not make the playoffs.
Are we 100%?
100% to make the playoffs.
There we go. So we're in the playoffs. Let's celebrate. Woo! If you're not watching live, I'm swinging my hands around. Let's see what happens in the playoffs. Obviously, I want to see a strong finish. I want to see the same finish as the start. Why not?
But again, we're talking about the power play being like, oh, we can't win in a playoff series with in our big game power play. But How many times have we lost 4 games in a 7-game set, in a 7-game stretch? I honestly, I'd have to go back and find out. Because I don't think it's been often.
I don't think I would. Good point.
Sure, our power play might be off, but there's one team that I don't want to play in the playoffs.
I was just going to ask you, if there's one team you don't want to face in the first round.
It won't happen in the first round. It'll be in the second round.
Who?
Is the Oilers.
Yes.
It's the only team I'm scared of. If Vegas can knock off the Oilers, I am confident that the Canucks can outperform Vegas.
We wouldn't be in the second round, would it?
More than likely would be in the second round, yeah.
I thought that would be the third, but I guess that would.
No, because the wild card gets put in. We'd face the bottom wild card position or one of the wild cards. Then those 2 teams would play, and then the winners of those would play each other.
Right.
For the Pacific.
Yeah.
For technically the Pacific final, then the Western final, and then the Stanley Cup final.
Of course. So,
looking at the odds here, because I pulled them up, 22.3% to make the final for Vancouver.
Who's first?
With 22.3%, it is Vancouver.
To make the Stanley Cup.
To make the final of the Stanley Cup, yeah.
Oh, because I saw odds. Rod Peterson put them out.
Yep. So these odds are updated as of 6:30 Eastern time this morning. So they haven't been updated to include today's results.
Okay, but then so the Canucks have the best shot at winning the cup.
Yep.
Wow.
At 12.1% to win the cup.
Literally, they were like in 6th spot under the is it Bet Regal? Is that who sponsors Rod's show? Yeah.
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 Well, and those are betting odds. This is different odds.
Yeah, 2 different things, right?
Yeah.
So it's good to point out. I like those ones better because we should be 1 or 2 or 3 anyways. The top 3 minimum. We're like 6th or 7th.
The fact the Vegas
was first.
Vegas fades the Canucks based off of playoff experience, right? Which makes sense, 100%. The playoff odds by Money Puck is based off of stats that are happening this season. Who the fuck cares about playoff experience? The game doesn't change that much. I know the game changes. The game becomes more physical. You have a 7-game series. There's those rivalry builds. If you get caught chasing, yes, you're going to get yourself in shit.
That's what we have to stay away from.
But hopefully that game against Winnipeg is going to be a reminder. Hey, guys, we know what this is like. Don't get into that slug. We can't do that. Play our game. Don't play their game.
Yes, exactly. Yes, and yes. I'm excited for the playoffs. It's been so damn long since we've been able to talk like this.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, could we win the first round? Wow, can we win the second round? Holy shit, are we going to win the third round? Oh my freaking God, 2011 curse.
Because right now, if
you know what the worst part is? You know what the worst part of this whole playoff, if we get to that third round?
Is that I'm gone for 2 weeks?
Dumbass. At least he's back for the final.
Hey, look, if I had told you in August, hey, I'm thinking about planning a trip and we're going to do it at the end of May because hockey season's over. It's not the start of football season. It's a good time to take a trip, right? You'd be like, yeah, sounds good. Because there's no chance we were even thinking. We were thinking first round, a solid first round showing would be good.
Me and DJ Streams, we can handle it while you're away. Don't worry about it.
Hey, I mean, it's Europe. Bars close at very weird hours there, or don't close. I could come onto the show very sober, very sober.
Password.
You can't change the password.
I can't. Yeah, I can.
It's my account, genius. Remember, we've been through this many times. Yeah, it's your account. I'm part of the team.
I could kick you out.
You'd have to. Okay, good luck figuring that out. Took you 3 weeks. Took you 3 weeks.
End stream button. What does it do?
Took you 3 weeks to figure out how to change your password. But if the season was to end right now, the Canucks would be playing the St. Louis Blues in the first round.
See, I remember I'm going way back. Yeah, see, DJ Stream says, don't you worry your little heart about the podcast, Jake. We got it in good hands. I go back a long time ago when we used to lose to the Blues all the time in the first round.
Fair. That would have been years and years ago because I don't.
Yeah,
remember.
that was like years ago.
Like early, like mid 90s, early 90s.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, used to curse them. This year it's not going to happen. I got a good feeling about this year, Jake. I
got a good feeling. You had a good feeling that when Bruce became coach halfway through the season too, that we were going to somehow magically make the playoffs. So
we almost did it.
I'm gonna hold off on the good feelings until we get into the playoffs and we get results.
Hold it. Sorry, that was just a fart.
Taking a look, we talked about it.
Prediction time. We are looking at prediction time. Okay, I promise.
Notice, guys. No, you promised you'd have a song for us.
That was a song.
And you'd give me a video so we could do a transition, but nothing.
Don't you worry your little heart about the podcast.
So you predicted that we will go 25-8-3 so far, including today's game, because I'm counting it despite you protesting. We are 6-3-2.
You know, I mean, 6-3-2. 6 wins,
12,
3 losses, 2 overtime losses. Is that right? Yeah. For some reason, that didn't sound right in my head. We can't complain at that.
No, not at all.
Like, that's damn good. We should be happy with that.
And yet we're complaining that we lost 2 games in a row and that our power play in big games isn't doing well enough. Like,
what, we wanted to be 7-2-2? 8-1-2? What?
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't get me wrong, it would be nice.
Yes.
But this week, we've already played 1 game this week. We have 3 more games remaining. We have the Avalanche, the Seattle Kraken, and the Boston Bruins.
Stacy Gould says, this is weird.
What's weird?
Stacy says we're weird. Stacy!
I mean, that's not unheard of.
You've lost your designation as of tonight. 7:46 on February 19th. You've lost that special designation. She knows what it is.
All right. So are you going to get through to your
She's like, I didn't know you could see my comments. What the fuck? You post a comment, you think we can't see it?
Wow. To be fair, with technology, I think Stacy's on the same level as you, so
she's cute though. We'll keep her.
You flip-flop way too much.
She says, no, I haven't lost my designation.
Okay, focus. Focus, old man, focus.
Okay, focus. We got the Avs. Oh my God.
Avs, Kraken, and Bruins.
You know what? That's 3 tough games this week.
Kraken aren't that good this year.
No, but we always play them back. They always play tough against us.
Yes.
Right?
Is that the close? Sorry, random. The Canucks don't really have a big rivalry in division.
We don't have a rivalry, period. I mean, Boston, but not really anymore. It's been so long.
The fans hate Toronto. Like, anytime Toronto comes to town, or we go to Toronto, we want to.
Every team
exactly.
Fans.
Exactly. So but the Kraken. It feels like the Kraken have a rivalry with us, but we don't have a rivalry with them.
It's like it used to be Chicago. We hated for years and years. We hate Boston because 2011.
And now Chicago's out of the West. They're in the East now.
Yeah. So really, I mean, we don't have a team that, I mean, Calgary, maybe Edmonton from this season. I would say Edmonton's a big rivalry, but just for the fact we kicked their ass in the beginning of the year.
But Edmonton's biggest rivalry is Calgary. Like, that's their rivalry. No matter where they are in the standings, those 2 teams play hard against each other.
Yeah, we don't really have that. We had it against Calgary for a while where those two teams hated each other. Remember the hallway brawl?
Yeah,
Right?
Tortorella.
But we don't. We don't have that. Grr, I hate that team anymore.
No,
For you and me, I mean, for long-time fans, we do.
Bruins will always
Chicago
be
and
that.
Boston,
Yeah, Chicago. Like
right?
anytime a New York fan brings up '93 or brings up Messier specifically, like that's just a
Thank you,
chewing point
DJ.
for
I
me.
wasn't going to correct him again.
What? Yeah, I know. I say it every time. They're still in the West. We don't see them as much. Are they really in the West? Do they play hockey still in the NHL?
They're
Pretty
so
sure
far
AHL teams
down.
could beat them.
So my predictions this week. That's what you're looking
Yes.
for.
Yes, we got distracted.
I think you're not going to like this. 1-2.
Ugh, I don't like that at all.
Yeah, I think we're going to lose 2 of those.
I'm going to assume you thinking we're going to lose to the Avs and the Bruins.
Yeah.
And beat the Kraken.
And we could go 0-3, and that would be horrible.
Oh God, could you imagine Canucks Twitter, the Canucks sphere, if that happens?
It would wheels have officially fallen off.
Yeah, everyone jumping out of the bandwagon with their torches, lighting it on fire,
burning down buildings.
Again, despite the fact that we still have 3 points up on the closest Eastern team and 10 points up on the Vegas Golden Noodles. So we're fine.
We're fine. And that's what I mean. That's where I'm like, we can afford to take a deep breath here. I would love to say we can go. I would love to beat Boston, but I mean, it literally could go. And hear me out. We could beat the Avs.
Yep.
If we beat the Avs, then we could go 3-0.
See,
if we lose to the Avs, I think we go 1-3 or 1-2.
I think tomorrow's game is going to be a very good litmus test for this team. Of you just got your asses handed to you in one period. You got your asses handed to you. How do you come out and play?
You were embarrassed. Like, yes, the ref sucked. I agree. I didn't watch the game, but everybody says the ref sucks. Okay, the ref sucked. It cost us the game. Okay, the refs cost us the game. We still sucked. We were embarrassed by this team. By the 100%. Wild. The Wild. The Minnesota Wild.
Let's just point this out here. Are not in a playoff position. Are 2 points out of a playoff spot.
Yeah, they're not that good of a team. It wasn't like it was the Bruins who beat us 4-0.
Or even LA, who they're in a playoff position and are trying to turn things back around.
Or Edmonton. Like I would get it. We got our asses handed to us by Minnesota Wild. I'm hoping somebody, as Jake and I always talk about, I hope someone kicked a goddamn garbage can in that dressing room and threw a couple fucking sticks around. Got angry.
To be fair, I don't think they had to. I think with this team, with the leadership group in place, I think they're like, Coach, you know what? You can have your time. Give us 5 minutes, and we're going to close the door.
Is that kind of thing old school? The kick in the garbage can? Does that work on new school players?
I think it does to a degree. I don't think it can be you can't lose it. But hey, if Rick Tocchet came in the right after the game and threw some shit and was like, what the fuck? And then just let the players stew in it, different.
Well, I'm thinking, go ahead, finish.
I'm thinking to like a Daryl Sutter type who we've all heard goes in and has berated players after a period or a game like that. I don't think that works. Mike Babcock
does it in the media. He calls players out. That kind of thing doesn't work anymore.
No, it doesn't.
Now, the reason I was saying is that old school. I was reading somewhere and I meant to follow up and try to see if I could find it. Did what's his name gets fined for his tirade against his coach? The Chiefs player. Sorry, his name escapes me.
Oh, Travis Kelce. Boyfriend. Travis Kelce. I didn't see anything about that, but I can find out.
I seen somewhere he got fined $10 million, and I'm like, that's got to be fake news. And suspended 3 games. I don't know if that's true or not. And it's funny because I've been going back and forth on this whole situation with that exchange. Having played contact sport, old school, and I guess the question comes up to now is it acceptable to have that kind of rage in 2024, or should we have learned by now that's not acceptable?
Yeah, it's a fake.
Yeah, I figured it was.
Yeah, it's esports.com. It's a satirical website that people didn't realize was a satire article.
And it was funny because I was like, I didn't get a chance to look at it because I was just I've been busy. But
it's the exact same thing that I just read for that DJ posted. So
yeah, exactly. Has been levied, in the league history, exactly. But should there be some kind of repercussion for that kind of display where he almost knocked an old man over? Like,
no,
is that acceptable?
Yeah.
See, why is that acceptable in sport?
To me, if you're in a competitive atmosphere, 100% that's acceptable. I've yelled at like the guys I play chell with. I've yelled at just like that before.
Yeah, but you're irrational.
I am irrational, but I'm also very competitive. It's a competitive atmosphere.
Yes, I get it.
Again, it's not that, and he said it. It's not that he was yelling at him. He said he even admitted on his podcast with his brother, because he has a podcast.
Yeah,
and he admitted it. Should I have done that? No. Did I apologize to him 2 minutes after it happened? Yes, but the cameras didn't see that.
No, of course not, and they wouldn't.
Right, and if it was something that extreme, where like, let's say there's a fight on the bench and he punched the coach, that's different.
Yes, that was an argument.
You have to draw a line there, right? With a coach, I don't think would ever get fined for going into a locker room and berating his players. He might get talked to by his boss.
I guess as I get older in life, I am the most competitive person you know, and you know that's where you get your competitiveness from. Yeah. Is they wouldn't let me coach. They just wouldn't.
Probably for the
after the whole T-ball incident. Apparently, you can't stack a team in T-ball. Anyway, as I get older in life, I look at things differently, and the way I looked at that was, man, does that man have some rage issues? Now I look at it as, would I want that person who has that much rage and anger in him, because that was just pure anger when he went up there, you saw it, dating my daughter.
Who cares?
I don't know.
Completely different atmosphere.
Well, it is, but he still has that in him.
You know who I hated playing up against the most in practice? Jacob and Alex. When I in high school. Two guys who you would walk by on the street, and if you looked at someone they liked the wrong way, they'd be like, don't really care. Like, they're not aggressive human beings. Not an ounce of aggression in them. They put those football pads on and they get into an aggressive environment. Good luck taking them out of that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I mean. That's why I'm really kind of struggle with it. I get it.
He wouldn't be where he was.
I mean, Allison freaks out when I'm watching any sport. She literally, I scare her because I'm so damn competitive, even just watching.
Yeah.
But she's like, oh my God, like, I can't believe you got that angry. And I'm like, I call that passion.
But again, he wouldn't be where he is if he didn't have that aggression and that passion in him.
Not even again, that's that 1% of 1%, right?
Yeah. That's why when there's stories of hockey players, football players, like footy players, any NBA players of being like, oh, they got into an altercation and punched someone. Oh yeah, you think you pissed them off and they got into rage mode. Like, that's what happens.
Well, because you are that competitive and you are that high strung. Call it high strung, whatever that word you want to use. I guess that question has to be, where do you draw the line? You drew the line at if he punched him.
Yeah, or I say punch, shove. A shoulder check is the same physicality as a punch. It's an
He pretty
intentional.
much shoulder checked him, didn't he? You kind of went into him.
No, he came up and tried to get his attention, and Andy Reid had no
Tried
idea.
to get his attention.
Andy Reid had on those headphones that he has on.
Oh yeah, you
Soundproof.
can't hear a thing.
So literally, when he's yelling like that, it's like,
Oh yeah.
how aware is Andy Reid of that
It
happening?
wasn't that he was yelling. Raise your voice all you want. There was pure rage in his face. He wanted to rip his head off and shit in it down his neck. Yes, they have won 3 Super Bowls together. I get it. I'm not saying it's wrong. Also, it's different if this was, oh God, yes.
If this was week 1, if this was any week other than a Super, if this was any week other than a Super Bowl game, we're viewing it completely different. And I don't think Kelsey has that reaction.
Probably, I can almost guarantee you he doesn't, but he did.
Yep.
And there's a lot of people out there, and I've read it, I've talked to people at work about it, who are like, he should be fined. He should be suspended for that display. And I'm like, I can't, like, I can see both sides because I get like that. Allison would like to fine me and suspend me from watching football or hockey for games on end because I get too emotional. I get it. But I also understand. I don't want my kid seeing that.
Then don't let your kid watch it.
Exactly.
Pretty easy. Like I'm sorry. Like
expect to see that. That's not something you expect.
Yes, you do. You're seeing grown men who are hitting each other with the intent to injure at that point and that level of game.
True. And you know what? I mean, you look at hockey. We're a hockey podcast right now more than football. And when do we jump off the couch? There's two things that happen.
Huge hit, a bullshit penalty.
Or a fight.
Or a fight. And okay, so then we should ban fighting in the NHL.
Oh. That's been the non-hockey intelligence of people for decades. Well, you're allowed fighting. I mean, if they did that out on the street, they would go to jail. Yeah, they would. Give me a coach cam for both coaches.
Give me a coach cam for both coaches that not all the players know about for an entire season, and you'll see that almost every week in the NFL.
Oh, I'm sure.
You've seen it. You've seen it. You sitting at your old season tickets. You'd see it. Coaches, players to players, coaches to coaches. People lose their shit. It's a competitive atmosphere.
You watch the Stampeders play and you see Coach Calgary's coach, Dickinson.
Yep.
Lose his shit every single game. And when he loses his shit, it's fun. It's hilarious to watch. But he drops more F-bombs than Jake does during a show.
So, but should he be fined for that?
No.
Or is it only because
I'm not saying he should be fined. Don't get me wrong. I'm agreeing with you.
But to the people who are going on being like, "Oh, we shouldn't have that." Okay, are we mad that we caught it on camera, or are we mad that it's happening? Or hear me out, are we mad because he's dating a superstar that your daughter wants to watch?
Maybe that might be the case. I was waiting for, and I was kind of waiting for that. Would if this would have been
Tom Brady?
Mahomes.
No. If this was Mahomes, no one talks about it. That's a passionate quarterback who's looking to explain, like, to get a reasoning from his coach.
I seen it 3 times where he was literally yelling at a player on the bench during the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And you know what?
Right?
You see the screaming. You don't see him 10 minutes later once he's calmed down or right before they go out. Be like, hey guys, we talked about it. We're good. Dap it up. Right? Like, it's part of sports. If you're not that passionate, you're not going to get there. It's as simple as that.
If you're not that passionate, you're not the 1% of 1%.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? It's pretty simple. Okay.
All right. So we have a full week this week with Canucks. Tonight we had a game today. We have a game tomorrow.
Game
Thursday and Saturday. The old man thinks we're going to go 2-1. So hopefully, for the first time in a long time.
I said 1 and 2.
Sorry, 1 and 2. I did. Yeah, you did say that. The play 1 and 2.
I'm talking to the other side over here.
Oh, you know what? That's fine. We're gonna go 1-2, and this is the first time I think since the old man started doing his predictions every week that I hope he's completely wrong. I hope we come out and
because I got to answer DJ. Yes, DJ, it was the fumble. So yes, I know exactly what that play was. Carry on.
it was we hope the old man is wrong and we go 2-1 or 3-0.
Like
For
I
the first
say,
time.
tomorrow's going to really tell us a lot.
Well, and this would be the first time you've really been completely wrong. If you go 2-1.
It's not me, it's them.
No, it's you. You can't blame them.
Them.
They're not telling you shit. They're not telling you shit. But if you guys want to follow us during the week that is for the NHL, you can find us. If you keep pointing at the wrong side, you have a camera right in front of you. You're like, yeah, that's why you're the co-host, correct? Follow us at HSP_pod on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. You can also follow the old man at Cavalli Channeling on Facebook. Anything you're promoting with Cavalli Channeling right now?
Yeah, that I'm really, really busy, and if you need any reading,
too bad.
You gotta,
no, I'm just kidding.
you need to get in line because I'm like swamped. I really am. Like, I'm not kidding when I say that. It's like it's been really good. So yeah,
that's good. That's good to hear. You can follow me at Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it.
Garbage.
J Streams. You can follow me on Twitch. I might be streaming this week. I don't know. At J Streams here. Spelled JEH because I'm Canadian and apparently I want to be just like DJ. And you can check us out, hughesports.ca, where we'll put up some articles and stuff like that. We broke the old man. But you beautiful people, have yourself a wonderful week. Mwah, and goodbye. Peace.